Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons in our PGA 2K23 series with Willie Champions as we are continuing our way through the Korn Ferry Tour. And this one is going to be our third event in a row. We are trying to get the three-peat going so we can get advanced on up to the PGA. If we can pull out the win today, that will get us there. As we are here at the Fellowship Open, and this is going to be played at TPC Sawgrass, a 7,300 yard par 72 course. There's a lot of water on here, but for the most part, the fairways are fairly decent and a little bit easier to hit. So, and it's something that I think is really designed towards our game, and we've been able to put together a few good rounds. Now we are at the moment in first place after 3 rounds. We are at 20 under right now. Really, we've picked up a lot on the par 5s here. We've had multiple chip-ins, and we've been able to get some good eagle opportunities, which has led us to be at the 20 under. So now we're going to go ahead and start out here on the first hole, which is going to be a par 4 as we drive it right down the right side. Now it barely rolls out of the fairway and into the light stuff, so we shouldn't see too much of an impact on our next swing. We are about 145 yards out with an 8-iron here, and if we can get this one plopped onto that green, we should be in good putting position. Now double checking it with the wind, we are hitting into about a little stiff of a 7-mile-an-hour wind, so just got to be careful with the height. As we do get a good swing on that ball, it's going to land pretty softly on the green, and it'll roll into a decent little putting position. And we are going to be able to putt that one fairly easily to get this tournament started, which is exactly what you want to do in any round. Now here to the second hole, we are still at 20 under. We did 2-putt green on hole number 1 for the par. So hole number 2 is going to be one of the par 5 opportunities for us. The wind is going to be at our back, so we are going to try to hit a little draw here to help us out and get a pretty solid bounce, because you don't want to go too far and into the rough or the bunker, the trails right down the right side of the hole. Now this one does stop at 317 yards and sets us up in a perfect position here with an opportunity to go for the green in 2. We're at about 218 yards left to the pin, so we are looking at taking a 5-iron with that wind at our back. And even if we don't get on, we should be set up to where we're short of the green and can have a pretty decent chip opportunity. But this ball looks like it's got a pretty good chance it does hit, and there's a big old lip right there which we're not able to get over on the green, so that's going to set us up as this ball continues to roll backwards with a very long eagle opportunity here. But hey, it is an opportunity. That's all you can ask for. Now looking at it, we're about 60 feet away from the pin on this one as we give it a almost full stroke, hitting that one right up the hill, playing it off that ledge. And it's going to roll down, and got to get it to hold up, and it actually rolls pretty well past the hole. As we still are got about 8 feet left to the hole here, slight left to right break for the birdie opportunity. As we send the putt to it, and that's going to miss the edge just barely. Reading these greens is getting a little tougher at times. It seems like it should have more break than it does at other moments, and sometimes it seems like it has nowhere near what you think. So we do 3-putt our way to a par right there, keeping a 2-stroke lead over George McDormand, sitting at 18 under, and Carter Casey is at 16 under in third place. Hole number 3 is going to be a 184-yard par 3. It's about 184 to the pin. As we got a stiff right to left wind here, it looks like we're going to be taking a 6-iron. As we put the club to the ball, that's tracking pretty well right at the pin. I just need it to hold up for us. And that's going to sit down, and it will stop right there. A beautiful shot coming from Willie off the tee box on this par 3. That's where we need to do a little bit more often. 5 feet away from the pin, right to left break. Just got to try to read this thing correctly. As we send the ball in, and it edges out the cup and in. That was a close one right there. Our first birdie of the day comes on the third hole, and that's going to put us at 21 under for the round. Pretty good way to get this thing started. 1 under through 3, keeping a 3-stroke lead over McDormand. They're at 18 under. So now the fourth hole is going to be a par 4, and this one's got some length to it, but it's not going to be too bad for us. 389 yards. but the water right there will play with our, basically kind of toys with you, especially on the approach shot into the green. But coming off the tee box here, we will drive that one fairly well right down the right side of the fairway. Just needed to get a good bounce and kick over to the left, and actually playing that fade helped us hold it a little bit closer to the middle of the fairway there as we get it to roll up nicely, just about 65 yards, looks like 68 yards to the pin for our approach shot, where we are taking a lob wedge. It looks like we're going to try to play the wind to our advantage here. So we put a pretty decent stroke to that one, and I just needed it to mainly get over the water, which is what made me nervous, and it will hold up onto the green, sticking pretty stiff to it. So a decent approach shot leaves us with 15 feet for the birdie opportunity. It's pretty tough left to right break as we send that ball to the cup, and that one is actually going to drop in. Ooh, got lucky right there. I mean, we read it okay. The putt, it looked like we tried to yank it to the left and pull it a little bit, but we actually hold on, and that ball will drop for back-to-back birdies. 2 under through 4 holes here with the 4-stroke lead now coming into the final round of this tournament, looking for a 3rd straight win. The 5th hole is going to be a 457-yard par 4 left to right wind, blowing at around 9 miles per hour as we try to take this thing from the left side over to the right, letting the wind do some of the fading for us. Just need it to hold up and not fly into that bunker, which is going to bounce off the hill, and it does go into the bunker. One thing you really want to avoid happening is hitting in these fairway bunkers, but we managed to pull it off on this hole. So the second shot is going to be about 175 yards. Now, normally we are going to take a 5-iron. Normally it's 200 yards. That's going to get us about 170, 175. And now we just got to get it to hold up here, and it's going to land just past the pin. But the ball doesn't check up as much as we would really like. I mean, hell, we were using a 5-iron. But we do have a birdie opportunity. All you can ask for is to be on the surface. Now, 22 feet away, not all that much break, but that distance will play with us a little bit. So here comes the birdie opportunity. That's tracking beautifully, and that's going to drop in the center of the cup. Back-to-back birdies. That's 3 in a row, and that's going to help us get down to 23 under here. 3 under through 5 holes, thanks to our putting having recovered after the shenanigans from the first 2 holes. Now, 23 under is a 5-stroke lead. Carter Casey has taken over second place at 18 under from McDormand. Now, the 6th hole is going to be another par 4, fairly open fairway, lined with some of that water and bunkers down the left side. So we pretty much stick to the right side of this one just to make sure. As we hit a nice little draw going down the right side there, it's going to land, and it does get a pretty good bounce, and that ball is going to roll some as we get that drive about 315 yards down there. So 75 yards left to the pin for our second shot. We do have our sand wedge out, trying to play this wind with us and let it be our friend and kind of help us shape this shot and land this ball where we need it to. So we get a good swing on that. Just need that ball to sit down, and it should hold up right there. Beautiful swing by Willie, putting them in an opportunity for 4 straight birdies. Now, every other round on the front 9, we haven't played this well. We've always made our score on the back 9. So if we can get 4 birdies in a row, as we send that one in, and that's going to drop in 4 in a row right there. 4 in a row on the front side. And haven't done this yet to the front side of the TPC, but like I said, our scoring's coming on the backside. So we have built up a pretty decent lead, 6 strokes over Carter Casey, who just finished up the 7th hole, which is where we are at. Sets us up pretty well with the back 9 coming in front, coming up left. So our drive shot here on the 7th is going to be a beautiful shot right down the middle of the fairway. We were playing into the wind, so we're not able to get the distance that we're used to getting on these things. But hey, it's set up perfectly, kind of moving forward for us. So our second shot's 175 yards away into about a 9-mile-an-hour wind into that one. So we are going to hit it, but we pull it slightly to the left. The wind, though, is going to kind of save us and get this thing to land back up on the green. Now there's a pretty stiff ridge there, and that ball is going to roll, and thankfully it stops. Normally that thing would roll almost off the green, but thankfully it stopped today. So now here comes our third shot and our birdie opportunity from some distance About 40 feet is what we're looking at. And it's going to go left to right early on. It looks like it breaks right to left as we get closer to the cup. Got to be careful with this one as we kind of just want to two-putt ourselves, give ourselves a safe two-putt opportunity. And we roll it up right next to the pin, leaving it 2 feet away, which should give us a great chance here to send that one into the cup for the par, and we remain at 24 under here at the TPC Sawgrass in the Fellowship Open. This is, like I said, our third Korn Ferry Tour event, looking for our third win in a row, and we are set up pretty well for it. We just have to be smart kind of going forward. The eighth hole is going to be a par 3, 240 yards. I didn't want to hit the 3-wood, so I do pull out a 5-wood here and try to get this thing to play with us some, but it looks like it's going to head short, and it's going to bounce and land in the bunker right there around the green. So we will have to be careful. These bunker shots are kind of hard to stop, and it makes it really easy to lose a stroke on a hole like this just because of the shot that we do have. So we try to get to the perfect sand shot here, and like I said, we just got to be careful with that roll. As we take a pretty decent swing, he didn't seem to like it, and that ball is actually rolling on past, but it does finally stop. That's not the easiest par putt coming back at the hole. It is a little left to right break, about 10 feet away. So we just need to be able to be sure to be smart about this as we send the ball to the cup, and it misses on the left side. Told you, played just too much right there, and that means we are about to drop a shot as we knock the bogey putt in. Now our lead is still 4 strokes. Carter Casey, though, is in second at 19 under. We are still at, well, we're at 23 under. As we look to finish up this front side on the 9th hole, par 5, 567 yards, split with water right, base about 330 yards in the middle. Now we take this one going to the left side. That should help set us up with the best opportunity for our second shot coming into this green here. Now hitting into the wind, it's hard to say that we really have a shot at 2. But we are going to take a 3-wood and kind of push this thing a little further to the right to give us a nice little pitch shot onto the green here. There's not a whole lot of green to work with since that pin is at the front, so we will have to be careful about that and use this wind to our advantage. But I definitely think this is the best option to go. In our third shot, we're taking a lob wedge from about 50 yards away. We put a decent stroke to that one, and it's going to land, and it will check up and roll right past the pin almost for an eagle. And that thing stops about 1.5 feet, 2 feet away, leaving us with an easy birdie opportunity. As we do remove the pin and just knock that thing in, we get that stroke right back, and thankfully we did because Carter Casey is charging right now. He's now at 20 under as he just completes the 10th hole. So a 4-stroke lead coming into hole number 10, which is going to be a par 4, about 415 yards. But the green is cut off by some trees over there on the left side, and there's a large little fairway bunker section you want to be careful of as well. So our tee shot, we're not even worried about trying to play with that bunker anymore. We've already failed once earlier in the day. We're not going to do it again. And so we take our 3-wood and put that bad boy right in the middle of the fairway. So a second shot's about 140 yards out. Don't want to be short and hitting into this wind. That's a possibility. So we do take the aim in a little further to the left, hitting that pitching wedge, knowing that wind is going to hold it and it blows it back to the right. But do we have enough to get over? And we do just barely. Landing on the light rough just on the outside edge of that green. So like I said, I don't mind our chipping game. I can deal with that. As long as we weren't in the bunker, I'm kind of happy with where we're at. We can get ourselves set up with a decent putt coming off this chip shot. So chipping it from the outside edge, we do hit it. The ball's rolling, and it's going to go just past the pin. It just rolled past the edge of the cup on the right side, and it left us about 1 foot away for the par save. And we're going to have to make par saves like that. Right now, this is just the Korn Ferry Tour, so we are at 24 under. These courses are not set up the most difficult right now. But coming into the PGA, whenever we are able to get to it, we will have to be scrambling for pars. I promise y'all that. Now, on the 11th hole, it's going to be a par 5, about 555 yards. The wind is at our back, so that should help take some distance off of this hole for us. As we swing and take that one and skim just right past the trees. And actually, we may have hit the trees just slightly, some of those branches, as the ball does drop down kind of early on. And that's going to land in the middle of the fairway, just nowhere near the distance we were looking for. Now, the green is outlined by the sand trap on the right side. With the wind at our back, I'm willing to bet you we can probably make this. Now, we are going to go for it here, put a pretty good shot, just need it to bounce and roll properly for us, as it's going to land just shy of the green and it will roll onto it. And the ball is going right where we would love to see it be. This is going to be an eagle opportunity. Is it the easiest chance at it? No. But hey, I'll take what we can get, right? So fairly straight on, some left to right break, about 25 feet away for the eagle putt here on the 11th hole. As we do send that ball to the cup, trying to track it down, and it breaks a little too far to the left. I knew it had some break. I really did not think it had that much. But we are set up for a pretty easy birdie putt, and that allows us to increase our lead to 5 strokes now as we sit at 25 under. Carter Casey is tied with McDormand at 20 under. Both of those guys are sitting in second place. 12th hole's a short par 4 at 371 yards with the bunker and water on the left side. We don't want to fool around with that at all, so we take our driver right down the middle into this wind, and that's going to set us up with a beautiful approach shot here at the 12th hole. About 100 yards away, wind coming into us slightly back to our left, but we should be able to take that to our advantage using the pitching wedge here. That gives us a little bit more freedom to play with this thing. As we come through with our shot, I'm not sure if we gave it everything, but there's a ridge on the green. Hopefully we can get over, and we will actually... Ooh, it does hold up. We got over that. That's close. There's a pretty steep drop-off right behind our ball there, so we flew it right to where we needed it to go. Now this is going to be a stiff right to left break, about 25-foot putt. As we try to get this thing lined up, got to be careful with how that slope's going to play with the ball. And you don't want to be set up with too long of an opportunity, as we definitely did not play nearly enough break. And the ball it's not as close as we really want, but this is fairly straight in. So about 4 feet left for the par. Should be a pretty easy putt to finish off, and it is. Now McDormand's making a slight little charge. He's at 21 under here as we're playing in this final round. In the same grouping, so he's back down to 4 strokes behind us. Now the 13th is a 175-yard par 3 with water all down the left side, really kind of cutting off where they put this pin. But we're going to go for it, no guts, no glory, as we take the shot and completely push the shot to our right. Not the best effort, as people would say. We do get on the surface, though, so that's a positive, right? Glass half full, you know what I mean? We are on the surface, just not really where we want to be. This is going to leave a hellacious putt left for birdie. This is kind of just let's get to a two putt territory and take our par and leave. It's about 45 foot to the pin. We do send that ball on down and need it to stop close by, and it's got to hold up, and it's going, and it almost rolls all the way off the green. We are within 10 feet, thankfully. 9 feet left here on this one. About a fairly straight putt, but we push it to the right, and we're going to miss that. You've got to be kidding me. We're going to bogey this par 3. Oh, man. 1 foot left for that little bogey tap in. So now it's only a 3-shot lead over McDormand here after 13 holes. We got, 5 holes left, needing to hold on. And the 14th hole is going to be a par 4 here for us. We played this hole pretty well throughout the days. The previous days, I think, coming up to about 2 under in total for the first 3 days on this hole. It's going to be a 485-yard par 4. The green is kind of shut off by some of those trees early on, so you do want to be careful with how you place this ball, and we try to take it down the right side of the fairway there. The wind hopefully blowing at our back, and we get a good kick off the light rough. Little hill that we end up kicking off of puts us in the fairway beautifully. Our approach shot's 172 yards away with the wind still at our back. We take a 7-iron from 180 yard, or 170 yards. Push it slightly over to the right. I do need that thing to hold up. It's going to land, and that ball is rolling and gets right to the fringe point. So, for our benefit, it allows us a chance to chip, and we are going to take advantage of that. About 8 yards to the pin. We send that chip to the cup, and it's rolling right at it, and it will stop just short of the cup, leaving us with a 2-foot putt for par. Should be easy enough to avoid dropping a shot. Now McDormand is maintaining his 21 under in second place. Carter Casey is at 20 under now. He's still in third place. The 15th hole is a 440-yard par 4, slight dog leg to the right, as we are going to take this shot and try to fade it right down the middle into the wind that's blowing from right to left. And that ball does hold up a little bit more than what I was hoping to, hitting that fade shot. But it gives us a really good opportunity coming at the pin here for the approach from 160 yards away. The only thing we really have to contend with now for the most part is going to be the wind. As long as we put a good stroke on it like we did, just need the ball to carry some onto the actual green. It's going to land, and it's not going to get to where we need it to be, and it will roll off the green. So we do miss this green in regulation. But hey, once again, it leaves us an opportunity to chip, and we've been pretty solid with that. So 10 yards away off the green for the chip. Willie takes a swing at it, sends it. That ball's tracking, but just not enough on it as it stops about 4 feet shy of the cup, leaving us with a pretty decent par opportunity here. 3 feet away, trying to complete another scramble for a par save. As we send that ball to the cup, and that one will drop. So 3-stroke lead after 15 holes. That means we got 3 holes left. McDormand is at 21 under. Carter Casey is at 20 under. And the 16th is going to be a par 5. This is an opportunity to make an eagle or birdie. We just need to take advantage of it. 506 yards. Water's on the right side, closer to the green area, obviously. So you want to be set up with your second shot if we can. I'm not sure where the pin placement. It looks like the water may block us off with the pin placement after this drive. As we are hitting from the fairway, got about 240 yards. And with that bunker in front and the way the wind is blowing, I'm not gonna really try to be too aggressive with it. I think I can get some good roll out of this ball as we hit this when it lands, and it's gonna land and roll up on the green. See if it'll roll beyond it, and it does not. So we are on the surface in 2. Smartly played, taking that water out of the play and leaving us with 31 feet to the cup for the eagle opportunity here. Slight left to right break, but this distance could play with us. So we send the ball to the cup. It's tracking, and it drifts just to the right of it. It didn't look like it broke that much, and it's still going to roll. That ball still rolled on to just at about the 10-foot mark. Not where you want to be for your birdie opportunity. We have to take advantage of this. 10 feet left for the birdie. Send that ball to the cup, and it will drop in. Okay, we will claim our birdie on that. Now, we were 4 under on the front side, and now we are only, 1 under on the back side. Really had to bounce back from that previous birdie. So 25 under for the tournament. George McDormand is still in second place at 21 under. 17th is going to be the iconic Island par 3. Wind blowing right to left makes it pretty hard to want to go for the pin, but I think we've got enough wind that we can actually do that. I do just want to be careful and still be kind of safe. With the way the green breaks, you don't want to hit it too hard and find yourself in a poor position with the way that slope is. Now coming into it, we do hit it, and that wind does its job to blow it onto the green, and we use the slopes to our advantage as that ball is actually tracking back towards the cup there. And that's going to set us up with a beautiful opportunity for another birdie. Left to right break, sitting at about 9 feet from the pin, looking to qualify for the PGA Tour. We got this hole and the 18th, and we should be able to get our tour card. We send that putt through, but look at what the slope did. That ball just rolled way beyond. Now we got about 7 feet left for the par putt. as we send that one in. Played too much break on it. You've got to be kidding me. Another bogey. What is this, our third bogey on the par threes? Man, we have not played these things very well. The greens have been screwing with us on these holes. So back to a 3-stroke lead over George McDormand at 21 under. 5 strokes over Carter Casey, who's in 3rd place at 19 under. As we approach the 18th and final hole of this final round here. It's going to be a par 4, about 440 yards, water all down the left side. Wind going right to left, so we want to try to take that out. We are going to hit a draw, but further to the outside, the wind does blow us back into the middle of the fairway. Working to our advantage. Use the elements for you. That's what golf is all about. And that's going to leave us with the beautiful, about 160-yard second shot here on the par 4 18th. We do have our 8-iron out. We're going to play it a little bit further to the right than normal because the wind is blowing back to the left, and this ball is tracking beautifully. It's going to hit and land and stop right next to the pin. Beautiful shot. Clutch on the 18th. That's how you seal the deal, is leave yourself with 2 feet left for the birdie. As we will knock that one in and claim our 3rd straight victory in a row. That's what you need on the Korn Ferry Tour. We needed to get 3. And we've got 3 as we knock that putt in, and that's going to save us here, giving us a good victory at the Fellowship Open. Victory number 3. We will be earning our PGA Tour card in this one single episode. What a job that we did. And now this is going to make things a little bit tougher for us going forward, but that's what we're looking for right here. As we get set up, we do pull out the win with a 5 under Sunday round, finishing at 25 under for the tournament. George McDormand in 2nd at 21 under. Carter Casey in 3rd at 19. Robert Newton coming in at 4th at 15. There we are, claiming our PGA Tour card here as we do get that 3rd win. Beautiful job for us to finish this thing up. The game, when you get your tour card, does simulate the remainder of the Korn Ferry Tour. As the next episode, we will officially be in the PGA as we would look to try to qualify and get ourselves into the FedEx Cup playoffs, and at some point, hopefully, try to win a tour championship. So stay tuned for that. If you did like today's video, give us a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the FedEx Championship and Victor Hovland winning, give us a thumbs up as well. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I will see y'all in the next episode as we start our way through the PGA Tour. Thank y'all for joining. Thank you for all the support. I'll see y'all in the next one, everybody. So stay safe. And, well, y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.